All right, so it looks like E Entertainment, E Television is back with House of Villains Season 3. Are they really on their comeback era? Kristen Cavallari, she's got a show. She's always been amazing. And she already had a show on E, so you know that's going to be good. But let's talk about this House of Villains Season 3.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.
All right, so the cast list is out. Are we eating it up? Do we love everyone? Are we saying they're a villain? Are they overrated? Are they going to be so successful? And just because they were strategic or malicious on their own show, what's it going to look like when House of Villains Season 3 comes together? You know, the first two seasons were good. Do you think Tiffany New York Pollard deserves a Season 3? I gotta say, in my opinion, her run should be over, but for whatever reason, E Entertainment, E Television, NBC Universal seems to really like her. I wonder if we are laughing with her or are we laughing at her? No diss to what she did years and years and years and years and years ago when the gimmick was, Beyonce, more like Luther Vandross. Like, I understand there was a moment for her, but I watched season 1, sort of uneventful. Watch season 2, sort of uneventful. Season 3, she is going to be back. She had a show called Next 15 where it was a bunch of reality and personalities of that nature all coming together, and she was the weakest link. So I think from that show that I watched, it was called Next 15, I suddenly was like, okay, I can never really be that excited about a New York Tiffany Pollard anymore. But some say she's the best to ever do it. Do you agree with that? I don't know. All right, so now that I got all of that out of the way and left a heavy opinion, because again, I do know people really enjoy her, I'm not sure, but maybe she's in a different role, a different capacity. And do we even love this show, House of Villains? Did we expect a season 3? Yeah, Joel McHale is funny. The cast has been really good. Oh, remember last season with Larsa Pippen, Teresa? That was amazing. Candy Muse. Johnny Bananas on the first season. You had Jax, who thought he was the ultimate villain, but he was ultimately sent home. I mean, the show is good. Omarosa, like, it just brings a whole cast of characters. But who's going to be on season 3, and are we loving this cast? Sounds like it's a pretty good one. Let's talk about the list. Okay, so here's what's good about the show, and E Entertainment for that matter. They are seemingly trying to come back. Reality TV seems to be sort of dominated by Bravo and now Netflix, Hulu. Like, it's always a big race, but E Entertainment for so many years was huge. Kim Kardashian, that whole thing. And for a while they've been stagnant, but House of Villains might be the show that really brings them back. And for the first time, the cast list, I actually have watched a lot of these shows, but that's what's really the beauty of a show like House of Villains, the competitions, the who's getting voted off, the new cast members that come in and out. The whole thing actually does work. So the formula is good that even if you don't know or like the cast, you end up watching at the beginning and at the end, you're like, oh my God, I really like what they put together. Okay, so right off the bat, we got Paul from Big Brother. Now, Big Brother is a show on CBS. Julie Chen, the Chen bot, she's always bringing it every summer, even if she makes mistakes, but it is what it is. But the point is, Paul, I think, is going to be a really good cast member. I don't think of Paul as like one of these epic reality TV people, not because he doesn't live and breathe reality TV, but because you just don't see him on the map that much. I mean, maybe he does have his own separate fan base, but when you think of like great Big Brother cast members, you think of like a Janelle, you think of Dan. I mean, there's a lot of different cast members that we've really grown to enjoy, and Paul is definitely good. You know, when he was doing that season where he was coming back, so essentially everyone already knew him, and this was the season that Josh kind of just stuck around, and Josh ended up pulling a fast one, so he won, but Paul did all the work. I say that to say Paul will be good for this show on the basis of strategy. He'll be good for this show because he's going to have to prove something. Not that he's trying to or needs to prove something. I just think he's a very sharp mind, and he's fun. Like I said, that season when Josh, you know Josh, the one who does the MTV challenge shows year after year after year, and is, you know, funny, he really only won because of Paul and that friendship. So Paul really has not necessarily a lot to prove, but Paul has a success story that still needs to be written. So I don't know. He's going to be putting his thinking cap on and trying to figure out how to win this House of Villains. And I think he's got a good shot.
For more randomness, hit the Patreon at patreon.com/randomlyronniejr. Did you remember to like, comment, and subscribe? Oh, come on, stop being so lazy. This show has no budget, but whose fault is that if you don't like, comment, or subscribe?
So I don't know Tyson that much from Survivor. Of course, he did the USA version of The Challenge, and he's I think it's weekly, a host on The Ringer, which Bill Simmons produces that. And so from the time, and I love a podcast, I'm always listening to everybody. From the time I've kind of seen and known who Tyson's personality is from the podcasting and MTV's, well, it wasn't MTV, it was MTV, CBS, they did The Challenge, and he was on that. He might have done the other one too, but I've grown to like him in that way, and there's an unpredictability factor, a smooth factor, but how will he compete with the other villains? Who's to say? Okay, it looks like Kate Chastain is going to be brilliant at whatever she does, so this is a little bit of your wild card. It's basically like this. Kate Chastain, will she win the competitions? Kate Chastain, will she win the show? I don't know, but will she win the audience of E! Entertainment, E! Television, and the fan base? I think Kate Chastain is a perfect pick. She was great on Below Deck. She had her own show and another show, and I think she hosted even another show recently. She says what she means what she says, and she makes sure she shows up. So I think this is actually perfect. I wouldn't even consider her a villain. I would consider her sharp, swift, always has something on the top of her mind, ready to say it, and that makes for a good cast member. The show, I don't know, I'd rather see her on another show, but I'll take House of Villains if that's how we could get more Kate Chastain, absolutely. And if you remember, she was not only on Traitors, which was the Peacock streaming show, Traitors 1, she was also on Traitors 2. She kind of came in and out on season 2, but so Kate, she shows up. Oh, you want to talk about somebody who is just in her own world. This is Jackie Christie, famously Doug Christie, the basketball player's wife, and she has been on a show called Basketball Wives, which is on VH1 for season after season after season after season. If you ever want to go to a best of, just, search it along YouTube and best of Jackie Christie, you get ready, buckle up, because it's going to be ridiculousness. On that show, Basketball Wives, it's usually you got something to say, I got something to say, you got something to say, I got something to say. There is a lot of arguing, and she does do that too, but she's also ridiculously funny. She had a couple drunk moments that were out of control, hysterical. So Jackie Christie I could tell you right now, the editing team for House of Villains, get ready to edit in that music that's like doom boo-doom 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 boo-doom, that really goofy, what's going on scenario kind of sound effect, because that is what Jackie Christie will give on this show. And if she gets mad, she's equally entertaining. So I'm all for Jackie Christie. She's cut from a different cloth, we'll say that. Okay, so we got Drita from Mob Wives. Mob Wives was a huge show on VH1. I never really watched it, but I always enjoyed Drita. And here's what I love about casting. I know it's not the popular opinion, but somebody aged a little bit older, I like. A lot of the shows across the board, it's always 25, 35. Drita, I can't imagine, is under 35. She might be over 55, as with Jackie Christie as well. And by the way, I'm in my 40s, so we all keep getting older. So for me, not only do I want to see Drita because we haven't seen her in a long time, but she is aged, and when you grow a little bit, if you are already unpredictable, you're definitely going to be even more unpredictable, snarky, and got something to say, and has smoke ready whenever anyone comes at you the wrong way, because you're only getting older, you're getting more crotchety, and I think Drita is gonna be the perfect cast member. And with that being said, if there is like the Drita moments, please let me know what they are, because I will go back and watch all the VH1 best of Drita moments, because I didn't really watch that show. I'm familiar with the characters, but I need to spend time and get the Drita isms. What are the Drita isms? What's she known for? I want to know it all, Okay, this one's fantastic. Plain Jane from Drag Race. One thing to note about Plain Jane. Plain Jane's like best friend, Corey, I think is the name. Corey also went on Drag Race, and Corey, I believe, is one of the top earning cameo. You could on Cameo, you could purchase a cameo and get a birthday request or whatever. I just say that to say Plain Jane and Corey King, entertaining, and if it will be anything like the great Candy Muse of Drag Race, you know you're going to get a really good character. Plain Jane, when Plain Jane was on the season, a lot of snark, a lot of that's what, just like opinions, much like a Kate Chastain, lots of opinions, not big Plain Jane yelling energy, but it's always like judgment, like casting a side eye, giving villain all the time. Okay, so Johnny from The Challenge, but more specifically Love Island. I don't watch a lot of Love Island. I know the show is huge, and I believe he was on when Love Island was kind of growing. It's getting bigger and bigger every year, but he did do some stuff on The Challenge as well, so you get in with that MTV crowd. I mean, these are two giant shows. I don't know much about his personality, and I didn't even know he was a villain per se, so this will be a fun watch as I don't know much about him. Ashley $1 Million Mitchell. What is to say about The Challenge's Ashley $1 Million Mitchell? Well, she won the million, right? Here's what you can know about Ashley. When she first went on The Challenge, she was a little bit lackluster in some ways, just maybe you just didn't know what to expect. So when she did her original Real World season, it was San Francisco, she was like 3 episodes in, maybe not even 3 episodes, but maybe not even 3 full days. She was ready to argue. She was over it. She, at that time, obviously we all grow, and she's now Ashley $1 Million Mitchell. But when she started doing the Real World, like it was a matter of like, I'm over it. I think she chose like the rules of the house, Real World, they all have to live in the house together and do different things and work together and stuff like that. She chose like a fling, like she was dating some guy at the time, and she was like, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. So that's villain. Now, I really do feel like Ashley has grown over the years, and you've seen different sides of her, but if we can never forget that back then she was over it quicker than you could say. She didn't even stay in the house for the Real World San Francisco for like more than a week. I mean, it had to be like 3, 4, 5 days at most. Was it a week? I don't know, but which Ashley are we going to get for House of Villains? Okay, so Tiffany New York Pollard, I already said what I feel about her, and I mean, great. She's on the show. Great, great, great. Overrated. Clap, 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 clap. Overrated. No, she'll be good. It'll be fun. She kind of played an interesting role in last season, so there we go. Okay, and so now, I noticed that there's no Bachelor contestants on this particular House of Villains Season 3, but we are jumping into Netflix reality, which is Christine Quinn, who, she definitely broke out from just Netflix reality. She was the star, I guess, of Selling Sunset. By the way, can I tell you, I love Selling the OC, and I love Selling the City. Selling Sunset, aside from Mary Fitzgerald, it's a boring show. And I watched all the $1 Million Listings, including the San Francisco and the Miami one. And I'm not like a big real estate person per se, but I love the way these shows are done. They're very keeping you on the edge of your seat, teaching you a couple of things, maybe not the sellings as much, but $1 Million Listing was really like that show. And it's not educational by any means, but it was like there was a big takeaway. So when the Selling Sunset came on, I couldn't believe Christine Quinn was anybody or anything or interesting, but people keep saying she is. So I don't know much about Christine Quinn. If it were me, I would have casted Alex Hall from Selling the OC 155 times more than this Quinn, what's her name? Harley Quinn, Christine Quinn. Very uneventful. Very uneventful. So if you disagree, I mean, maybe she's more interesting than I know, but I feel like maybe a Drita will just put her right in her place in the House of Villains. Maybe a Jackie Christie will look at her funny. Is she that entertaining, this Christine Quinn? I don't see it. Go to Selling Sunset, and that would not be the show franchise of the 3 that I would cast from. If I was casting, Selling the OC's got cast member on cast member on cast member. So does Selling New York. Both better shows by far. And last but not least, he has to be a villain because, by the way, he was on Vanderpump Rules and he cheated, much like everybody else cheated on that show. But when he cheated, It gave Ariana Madix a career. No diss there, but it sounds like a diss, but it's not. But he just became a villain. But you got to understand, I think he's going to do good on the show. He did the one show, Tom Sandoval and Vanderpump Rules. He did the one show where he had to go and do top like Navy SEAL training, and as much of a punk as he can be sometimes, like he showed up and he fought. Like I think he's took a lot of negative criticism. Other people have made money off the back of Tom Sandoval, and he's the villain. But it's an opportunity. It's another show for him to be a part of. I think he's going to get a redemption arc to really like show his story, how wonderful he is. How will he do in the competitions? I think he'll try a lot. I think he'll have a wonderful social game. One thing about Tom Sandoval is he does get along with a lot of different groups of people. You know, people hated him going into The Traitors. He was also on Peacock Streaming's The Traitors, and kind of odd, but like still lovable. And I think it's time for Tom Sandoval to have his moment again. If Ariana Madix, his ex, who he did cheat on, is getting all this money from the Love Island. She's the host of Love Island and is adored by so many. Why doesn't Tom Sandoval get his moment? Or will he dip into the actual Tom Sandoval that maybe is a villain and we don't even know about it? But either way, Tom Sandoval really, in my opinion, does round out this cast. All right, that's your House of Villains. I'm wondering if they missed the mark on casting. Was it perfect casting? Would you have added somebody from The Bachelor? Would you have added somebody from like one of the Hulu reality shows? Or is this a perfect group with the perfect formula, season 3? My only thing, you tell me who you would add in. The only thing I would do, if we're giving Tiffany New York Pollard a 3rd season, I say bring back Larsa Pippen, the queen, the icon, the House of Villain superstar. Larsa Pippen should, you know what? Joel McHale does not need to host. Bring back in Larsa Pippen. I could tell that we love Larsa Pippen. Anyways, House of Villains season 3. Do you love the cast? Let's talk about it.